I am going to show you how I run OpenClaw on my VPS and have Claude Code caring about everything. It installed it over there, it's caring that the gateway is up, it restarts it if necessary, it repairs the configuration if necessary, and in the night it checks if there are stable upgrades and then automatically upgrades just about everything. I had a very good conversation with David on the OpenClaw Discord, and David heard from ChatGPT that the best DevOps for OpenClaw would be actually Anthropic Claude Code. And I said I can confirm that after a lot of testing. What I actually did was this. I created a little open source project, and it turns Claude Code on the VPS into something that cares about OpenClaw. And you can get it over here from GitHub. It's completely open source. You can customize it to your liking if you're a bit of a nerd like I am. And I actually did customize it. I added a lot of bells and whistles that I personally would want to have in there. And I'm going to show you my version of it. And you can have that version too. Let me show you how my version installs. It's basically 3 steps on my VPS. I have a curl command which will download the playbooks for Claude Code to be the watchdog and to know what to do. And it will install Claude Code if it's not already on the VPS. Then the next step is actually to start Claude. And then the third step is to point it to a starting prompt. And from there, Claude Code takes over. It checks, is the server okay? It checks security. It checks, is OpenClaw already installed? If not, then it installs it. But let me show you that in action. Over here, I've got the VPS at Hostinger. I just reinstalled Ubuntu, so it's completely wiped, and I can go into the terminal. And I would now start by copying the first command into the terminal over here. And that will bring all the playbooks and everything onto the VPS. It installs Claude Code, and now I'm ready to start Claude Code. So I go back to over here to the instruction, copy the second command, which is actually starting Claude Code. And since it's the first time that I'm running it, I have to choose a few things, and Claude Code is ready. Now comes the third step, which is the starting prompt for Claude Code. I paste it here into Claude Code, and now Claude takes over. But we have a couple of things to configure, so I'm going to show you what happens now. Let's fast forward this video a bit. I can see that it installed a few dependencies and it's busy installing OpenClaw right now. So it's done with the installation, it's now configuring it, and it asks me which provider I want to use for the LLM of OpenClaw. So let's say OpenAI. And it asks me for the OpenAI API key. Let's give it the API key. This is an API key that I just made for this video and which is going to be deleted right afterwards. Now it's asking me whether it should set up Telegram alerts in case it wants to notify me. And let's choose walk me through it. Let's just pretend I don't have any Telegram bot yet. Then it's now giving me instructions how to create my Telegram bot for these notifications. Let's go through this together real quick. What the instructions say is you gotta go to bot father and there say new bot. Then it's asking for the name, how to call it. And let's give it a cryptic name like this. And what's the username for the bot? Let's give it the same. That's easy. And it answers with a URL for the chat and with a bot token. And this is what we need. So I'm going to copy this and simply paste it over here into the terminal. So that's prepared. Now it's asking me to send any message, anything, hi or whatever. Let's go to Telegram. Let's go to the chat with the new bot and say hello world. It really doesn't matter. And then I go back into the terminal and say, I've sent it. And this seems to be set up, and it said I received a test message. Yeah, over here, OpenClaw Watchdog installed. Fantastic. So in the meantime, it goes on with the next few steps. And it's done with the installation and configuration, and it highly suggests to let it set up backups and enable the firewall, and we can do all that. But what I want to show you is the report over here. It's everything it found out. It also tells me my gateway token, which I need to log into OpenClaw. And if I open the URL that it gives me, then here comes the gateway token. I can connect. But when I try to connect, the gateway refuses and it says it needs an approval. So let's copy that. And so let's type something. And there I paste this approval message. Let's see what it does. And it's explaining to me that this message came up because OpenClaw is running on the VPS while the browser is on my PC, and it's a non-trusted device. But it said it approved, so let's try the connection again. And there is my OpenClaw. Fantastic. Hi there. Yep, that's working. Now, I could now set up this backups or swap partition like it suggested. There's also a bunch of other suggestions in the instructions that I have somewhere at the bottom. A lot has to do with cost control so that it reports token spikes and stuff like that. But one thing I would definitely suggest doing is setting up remote control, like this, set up remote control or something similar. It will understand me. And what it does is it's creating a persistent session of Claude Code, which pops up on my mobile as long as I'm logged into the Anthropic Claude app with the same account that Claude Code uses over here. Then on my mobile, I can directly talk to Claude on this VPS just in case there's something wrong with OpenClaw. It's good to have that connection. And that is done. It just tells me in case I don't have the app yet what I should do, but it's going to pop up automatically. And this session, it will survive server reboots in case that happens, so I don't have to care about that anymore. Another thing that I would suggest is setting up a swap partition, but this video is now getting long, so I'm not going to show you all the functionalities. I will show you how to get it. If you want to have my personal version of this script that I just showed you, I am on Ko-fi, and if you would like to support these open source projects a little bit, then consider buying me a virtual coffee over there. And over there, you can also then directly download the OpenClaw DevOps script, or the same script basically for Hermes. If you want to run Hermes, it runs beautifully on the same VPS. They can be friends on your VPS. But like I said, you could also just download the core functionality of this, the Watchdog, which does most of the work, over here from GitHub, and then add whatever bells and whistles you would like to have. So I hope I didn't bore you to death with this long video, and I hope you have fun with your OpenClaw and don't have headaches anymore, because now your Claude Code is taking care of everything. And if you've got any questions or suggestions, just leave them in the comments and I will really try to get back to you. Thanks a lot.